Good morning, millennials. Welcome back to the Morning Toast. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
And happy last toast of the year.
Yes, very
wow,
sad.
you guys, we made it through 2020. This is the last toast of 2020, and it's definitely bittersweet.
It is, but I'm looking forward to having some time off, getting to sleep in and spend time with the love of my life, Theo.
Dr. Theodore Fichemin.
The doctor is in.
Well, he's out today.
Can you see me now?
He's out today.
He's out,
which
yeah.
really, really hurts. And it's different considering it's last show of the year and he didn't want to grace us with his presence.
Well, I know that maybe for those who don't live in New York, you saw the Instagram stories of like the snow in New York and everyone's playing a different version of, it's beginning to look a lot, all that shit. But what you don't see is the day after where the duty snow fills the street after all the trucks drive through it. It's like the color duty brown. You can't get anywhere. There's no curb that's like free. It is so, I fucking hate when it snows in New York. I like it in the moment, and then realistically, logistically, when you have to leave your house and there's duty snow everywhere, it's so what's the word I'm looking for here? It's like not livable, and it's certainly not livable when you have a dog.
I understand. I mean, it's last show of the year, but I understand. Plus the salt on the ground, like you don't want to get it between their toes.
Exactly, and we're experiencing that right now. So unfortunately, Theo couldn't be here today, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be the most amazing show-stopping, incredible show you've ever seen in your entire motherfucking life.
This one goes out to Theo. I know somewhere he's watching.
This one's for you.
This one's for you, Theo. Thank you for making the show like even better than it's already been all year. Whether he was sleeping in the background on a Zoom episode, or he was sleeping right here with his head off, or he was being crushed when we tried to get up. Theo, you made this Toast 2020 what it was, and we appreciate you and we love you.
No, if I had to really attribute like the majority of the success, I mean, this has been a crazy year, filled with high highs and so many lows that like I literally could just never leave my house again. But those highs were really made that much higher by the presence of this angel here on earth, and that's Theo. And even some of the low points where it was like, literally never wanted to leave my bed, Theo was there, so I really never wanted to leave my bed.
Right. He makes the lows higher.
Yeah.
So anyways, Theo, we love you. We see you. And to everyone else watching, thank you so much for going on this journey with us this year.
We know it has not been easy.
Yeah, but it's been another year of fabulous Toast episodes, especially in Q4. Like Q4 Toast is 2020 has been some of the best, freshest toast I've ever tasted.
I couldn't agree. We've been in 2 different studios this year. Mm-hmm. Well, 3 if you count like our Zoom situation. So 3 different studios. And I'm so glad. I feel like we're landing right on our feet. And really this was a growth year for the Toast. A lot of growing pains.
Yes.
We had to deal with a lot of drama. Maybe we should just rattle through all the drama this year.
Should we? Because I don't want to I don't want to start with that.
No, me neither.
Because I really, sometimes I forget, and then I'll remember some of the things
how can you forget? People are constantly reminding us.
Just because I'm pushing it into the back of my brain, and then I'll remember, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was so many, and I feel 2 ways about being the canceled queens that we are. And I don't know what I had a pep in my step this morning where I just wanted to talk about it all, I had two feelings. One is I did that shit and I deserved, I think probably the lowest point for me this year was my One Tree Hill scandal, and I feel I still every time I think about it just want to jump out a window. I feel awful about it, and I can't apologize enough. But then I think about us having dinner,
right?
And then it's
Outdoor Dinner Gate 2020.
Outdoor Dinner Gate 2020, where we were accused of being coronavirus deniers, and we were so obscenely canceled within our community, and that was just such a crazy, unnecessary thing that everyone did. But we survived.
We survived, and just want to remind you guys, we didn't get COVID then, we didn't give it, and we still haven't gotten it. I just feel like that's pertinent to the situation.
What's so crazy, and I've been thinking about this a lot, is that I haven't had coronavirus.
I know, me neither.
And now that the vaccine is here, I can't get it now. In the next 3 months, I cannot get it. No. I made it this far.
I know.
I refuse.
I know. Well, we just can keep doing what we're doing and taking the exact precautions that we're taking, because I think that we're doing something right.
I think we are too, because we haven't gotten it.
And being in the epicenter for 9 months and haven't gotten it, and going to work every day and haven't gotten it.
Right. It's just so crazy that people accuse us of, now that we can look at this year at a glance.
Yeah, at a glance.
How much, we were given so much shit online, really accused of being coronavirus deniers, coronavirus
super spreaders.
When we didn't ever have it, and we've been so careful, and we literally have lived in New York. We never left New York.
Yeah.
crazy. This has just been such a wild year. And you know what? I don't even fault people for like getting mad at us for crazy things because you're probably going through a lot too.
Right.
I can't be mad at you. You know what? How about a clean slate? I forgive you if you forgive me. Okay. Clean slate.
I love that. And that has been sort of just like in the background of the whole year. Like you think about the people who are going so hard against us and it's like, wow, you have so much time.
Not even us, just like other people. I've seen the way like
just
society.
like keyboard warriors going harder than ever before. And it's like on the one hand, calm down. On the other hand, you clearly have so much time. Like obviously it hasn't been a great year for you either.
The coronavirus has affected you too, mentally, emotionally, clearly.
Right. So I think we should just all forgive each other.
Clean slate. I'm so willing to clean slate because I have my own fair share of things that like I should be sorry for. And I am. And I'm not a perfect person and I've never claimed to be. And I always, and this is probably the thing that annoys me most. I'm really just going in. The thing that annoys me most about like when people like talk shit about us, there's like all these things being said about us. The only thing that really bothers me is when people say we don't apologize, which is so not true. Like I feel like anytime I really feel like I'm wrong, I will always apologize. But then it's like, I'm not just going to apologize because you're mad because I had dinner with my family. Like, I don't feel like I owe you an apology.
Right. If you don't think you did something wrong and you're not sorry, you shouldn't apologize.
And I completely agree with that. So that's always what gets me. But I'm never above apologizing when I know I've done wrong. Like One Tree Hill Gate was like probably the worst thing I've ever done. Like I literally, my body convulses if I see. Sometimes I end up on One Tree Hill TikTok, like of people who are obsessed with the show, and it's so triggering to me to like remember like the horrible thing that I posted on Instagram when I thought I was like just being funny and like it was not funny. Like that literally, the shame is it. When I scroll TikTok and I see someone from One Tree Hill, you know the feeling.
I know the feeling.
When I see someone from One Tree Hill's face, like this chill comes over my body and it's debilitating. Like, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, I know that I've done wrong, but I feel as though I've also been wronged. So like, maybe just clean slate for everyone into 2021. Like, past discretions.
We're forgiven.
We're wiped
and
clean.
we forgive.
We forgive.
We forgive.
For the most part.
Okay, I think that's like a great place to go into 2021 and just a great place to start the show. How was your day yesterday? There was so much snow on the ground yesterday, but I also feel like yesterday was the day that I spent the most time like out walking in the street. Weirdly enough, I had so many errands to do that I was just like in the snowbanks all day. But because I had my moon boots on, I was like happy about it.
I was in the snowbanks as well with my snow boots, and so it wasn't terrible, but it was really inconvenient. And I just guess like I haven't been out and about in a while. So many of my local businesses just completely shut down. Like while I was hunkering down in my apartment for the last 2 weeks, just trying to be really careful to not be exposed. And I'm so sad. Like it's just walking around was so upsetting. Like, of course the Zara is still there, but an amazing down coat, $89.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good haul I did.
Nice.
But all my local businesses were gone.
I did a little shopping too yesterday. It was very overwhelming. There was like nobody in the stores, but there was so much merchandise. I could barely, but I figured out how to find a few things for myself.
I'm sure you did.
No, but it really,
I'm never worried about you.
I almost walked out like, this is too much, but I actually really needed some stuff. So, last show of the year.
I don't want to start because then it's over.
Because then I totally agree. And like,
what were some of your favorite moments?
We don't need to rush into the stories today.
No, because they're so long. And we only have the Southern Charm recap. So
yeah. So
let's talk about this year at a glance. That's my favorite phrase. And then that's also why I realized why the planner company is called At a Glance. So at a glance,
R.I.P. RIP to my planner this year.
Oh, same.
I've already filed it away with my other planners of years
I gotta
past.
get a 2021 one.
Yeah, me too. But like, I keep all my old planners like in a drawer, and I put the 2021 in there in like
February.
October.
Yeah. So at a glance, what would you think were some of the highs of this year?
Wow. I mean, we can't underscore all of the highs that we participated in before COVID hit.
The Beacon Theater.
The Beacon Theater, Lauren and Cameron from Love is Blind on the toes.
Yes, that was a real high.
You know?
Yeah.
We went to LA. We found a little way to go to LA in there.
Right before February. That was the end of February.
Yeah. I went to Cabo in January. So I was having a nice time.
You know, I went to Mexico in January. I performed at the Beacon Theater. I released my comedy special. I announced my book. All in all, this was not a bad year to be a girl with no job. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Then even in COVID, we had some highs. We had Dr. Burks on the show.
That was a huge honor.
We had Francesca Ferraggio when...
Ferraggio? I call her Farrago.
Yeah, I don't know. I Maj Tijan'd it.
Okay, that's fine.
When Too Hot to Handle was like popping off and we got all the tea.
I mean, that was not this year. Like, you just cannot convince me that it was this year.
No, I know. And then we had Zoom Toast, everyone.
Those were dark days.
Remember all my different cups?
No.
Every day I had a new cup. Like, that was like how I would treat myself every morning. Like, I'm going to use one of my fancy cups.
I know, like, you really, really hated Zoom Toast. Like, I didn't hate it that much.
You hated it more than me.
No.
You hated it more than me.
There's no way, because I don't really hate even though the episodes were like treacherous to do, I never hated not having to get up and get dressed and put on makeup and leave the house.
Yeah, but I still would do makeup. Like it was less and less
Right,
over
I wouldn't.
time. No, my only thing about Zoom toast is like, even if we're like as best as can be, like you just can't replace this, you know?
Of
this.
course. The magic, how you say that, je ne sais quoi?
It's the je ne sais quoi of
100%.
in studio.
100%. 100%.
But then we Zoom toast, and then we moved into our new studio. So while we were Zoom toasting, we were dealing with all the drama from our old studio.
And you know what? Let's talk about it. Today's episode is going to be titled Let's Talk About It. People wanted to know why we like suddenly we moved into that studio in January and we were here by June. So what happened between January and June, you ask? You girls were evicted from our space for violating New York City rental laws because it was
using a residential property for commercial purposes.
Yeah, even though
it was fair.
It was fair, but we were very clear when we showed up to tour the place.
I know,
We said, "Hi, we're going to be using this residential property for commercial use," and they said, "Okay," and the board approved us, and nobody cared.
No, but I think that like the landlord didn't care, but then like the building like saw the show and they were like, no.
They saw the Disgrace Queens. They heard that we had dinner outside with our family during coronavirus and they kicked us out.
Yeah, so we had to move, and we were just also done with the drama. Like, we didn't want to be in a place where we were like causing trouble. Like,
and we we're wanted.
Always causing trouble. We're not looking for trouble.
No, and by the way, another huge misconception about us, I think that people think we like live for these like scandals because we have so many, and that like it feeds our business. Like, you don't understand. I loathe them. They just come to me.
Yeah, they are just always showing up at our door.
So yes, we were evicted.
And so during that time, we found this new studio, which we love, and everyone here has been like so warm and kind to us. And
it's an office building. Like this is a place of business.
It's a place of business.
So they respect our business.
So here we do our business, and the Trackers for Tayshia come out, and like there's just so much going on. I feel like it adds to the show.
100%.
And so we've been here since July, and I think it's been going really well. And I feel like finally the studio is like, this is the studio. This is what it looks like. The couches are getting lower and lower.
Yes. By the way, the more I watch our show, the more we look like Elf.
Yeah.
Like Will Ferrell being huge in like a tiny land made for short people.
100%. And also at this point, like we really can't have guests on the show because it shows like how our set is so miniature. And so I think eventually once these couches like sink all the way to the ground and we're sitting on the floor, we'll get new ones. But I just love the vibe of how it looks like. It's so pleeny. And I just feel like the aesthetic is very calming.
I agree. And it's very on brand for us. It's our old studio, but really revamped with like a interior design.
Yeah, like homey, cozy vibes.
Yeah. So that was the tea eviction. Mm-hmm. Anything else happened this year we need to address?
We had a month where we were doing weekly episodes, which was just so amazing.
Yeah, and we were
still not planning on moving to weekly, but just want to let you guys know we loved it.
But keep canceling us. Maybe we'll get there. Also, when we were doing weekly episodes, we were talking about how like this is the traditional podcasting schedule. Everyone does one episode a week, and it's like, what do they do for the rest of the week?
I know. But you know what? That week episode really sneaks up on you.
Big time.
Yeah.
We're like, we're going to have so much free time. Next thing you know, it's like Tuesday at midnight. And we're like, oh, we got to get an episode.
Watch 7 hours of television.
So it's really been a great year, of course. We joke and we laugh, but it's been a wonderful year, and we really want to thank all the people who are still here, all 5 of you. Yeah.
No, seriously, thank you guys so much. We absolutely love, we always say this, we love doing the show, and we love that you love it, and I hope that we can just keep loving each other forever.
Yeah, and what's funny is like this year has just been like kind of the restructuring of the shows. Like our business is different in many ways. Like we no longer go live. We're pre-recorded, which I think for the time that we're living in and people just really being so hypersensitive to content they see online. And I just think that's for the best.
Yeah.
We really still don't really edit our episodes, but I think it's nice to just have that, option. We no longer have our Facebook groups, which honestly has been such a weight off my shoulders. Like I think that it was a matter of time whether we ended it or like Facebook ended it. Like something really horrible was going to come out of that group of just like highly emotional
charged up
people, young men and women. And I think that it's much better now. And I think that although things have changed so much this year, the toast is bigger and better than ever, honestly.
Bigger and better than ever. And you know who has had a great year? Not a person, a thing. I don't think you're seeing where I'm going.
Okay, go.
The Patreon.
Yes,
of course. Patreon content has just been on point this year. We tried to make as many vlogs as possible, and there's just so much like good stuff in there because really content was king this year.
Yeah, and I think that Patreon more than ever, when it felt for so many people that there were like very few safe spaces on the internet, the Patreon Facebook group and the Patreon like website has been that for the Toast community. It's a very safe, warm, welcoming place.
Yeah. So head over to patreon.com/themorningtoast because it's the best place to be.
And it's a great way to support your favorite gals. Patreon.com/morningtoast.
Okay. I feel like
Now.
I've reviewed the year and I'm ready to put this year in a box, in a drawer, and not open it again.
In a box beneath my bed is all the scandals that I never read a few summers back.
Literally.
We're putting this year to bed.
After this, 2020, see ya.
No, honestly, like starting January 1st, do not talk to me about anything that happened in 2020. I
completely
don't know
agree.
her. I will not address it. Like, yeah, imperfect.
Right. And I think that this story is so big and it keeps getting bigger that there's absolutely no way that they're not talking about it on Beverly Hills, which they're filming right now.
There's absolutely no way.
Right. So,
But there was a lot of talk about her being like demoted to friend of housewife a while ago. But I feel like if that even were the case, it is certainly not now. Yeah.
She's back up. She's circled back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Circled back by EOD.
So we'll keep you posted on the trial, but there's a lot of news there.
And I'm just really curious. I'm not really that interested in like the legalities of it all. I'm just now curious of like, how does this affect my viewing of the Real Housewives? Is Erika poor? What happens to the plane? You know?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Yep. Okay, next story. Pete Davidson is removing all of his King of Staten Island.
He's still doing press for that movie. That was like the first quarantine movie, and it's still like #1 on iTunes because literally nothing else came out.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one. I saw Big Time
Terrible.
Adolescent. So
it's the same movie.
I feel like I saw it.
Same exact movie.
A film,
except one of them had Machine Gun Kelly. Which one?
Big Time Adolescent.
So it was obviously better because we stand MGK in this house.
Yeah, a film critic broke the news when he tweeted a screenshot from the event saying just attended a makeup chair to cover them.
Oh, that's why.
He figured it would be easier to, quote, get them burned off.
What roles is he doing that doesn't let him have...
I don't know.
On SNL, it's like the hair and makeup is not, because it's 3-minute sketches, it's not that involved that they would need to cover his tattoos if he was like, you know, being a businessman and like had to wear a suit.
And what does that mean for those who don't speak Hebrew?
It's not respectful.
This is not respectful. I agree.
And it's, as we say in Yiddish, this is a shanda. Like,
and
this is a private family matter.
Yeah, Vanessa feels the same way. Frivolous, disgraceful, and unimaginably hurtful. I can't even imagine how hurtful.
No, this is something that it's a private family matter that should be handled as such in, you know, the private family quarters.
Yeah.
And like to not only make it so public is so hurtful, but then to sue, like, why is it all about money? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's terrible. I mean, justice for Vanessa Bryant. To be going through this after what she went through is so horrible, and to have it come from your mother, I mean,
so horrible.
That's sad. Very sad.
Very, very sad.
She's one of the people I'm like always thinking of. You know what I mean? Like, I just hope she's okay. I feel like she has a lot of support around her.
But there are just some things that
you don't do.
Yeah, no, but she has, and I'm sorry, I was talking about Kobe and Gigi. Like, she has so much support around her, which
is helpful, but not ever going to bring them back.
Yeah.
And also, I can't believe that was this year. Like, that's one of those things, like, you know where you were when you heard about, like, 9/11, you know? Yeah. I remember where I was when I heard about Kobe Bryant.
Where were you?
I was in my bed, obviously, because that's always where I am. And I heard it. And there are always these, like, weird, you know, hoax, fake death stories, like, coming out. Like, I remember when we were kids, there was, remember the Cheyenne from the MTV show? There was, like, a hoax that she died. Like, they always do this. And so at first you don't believe it. But then when it comes from TMZ, it's like, oh no. And it takes like a day to fully process it. And I called Ben because he's like the biggest Kobe fan. And I thought I would be breaking the news to him because I'm like, he doesn't know anything. Like, he doesn't follow pop culture. Like, I thought that I would have to like break the news to him. And he knew, and he was like in fucking denial, like on the street, like left work. He needed a minute. Like, he was outside, like literally having a panic attack.
Wow.
Crazy. Where were you?
I was also in bed.
We gotta
leave. It was a Sunday.
And it wasn't even quarantine though.
It was a Sunday.
We had no excuse.
Yeah. Okay, well, next story is some really happy news. The Bachelorette, Zach Clark, reconnects with the bank teller who made the call that saved his life. Did you see the episode where he explained to Tasha on his one-on-one? He talked about his struggles with addiction and how he, you know, hit his lowest point by writing fraudulent checks, and a teller at the bank recognized that, you know, this was not a kosher situation and called his dad. And so he went back to the bank and met with the angel, he calls her, that saved his life. He said, on August 28th, 2011, I walked into the PNC Bank in Camden, New Jersey, and I met my angel, Rhonda Jackson. Rhonda didn't know me, didn't care what I looked like, and didn't judge me. She just knew that I needed help as I tried to cash a forged check so I could get some quick money and keep getting high. Rather than call the cops, Rhonda called my dad, whose name was on the check as the account owner. 3 days prior, I had stolen a handful of checks. Yeah, and so he posted a picture to his Instagram of him and Rhonda.
Oh my God, stop. I fucking love Zach C. That is really, 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 really cute. And I like that's so interesting that like, I don't know. Oh, also, I finished The Flight Attendant. I want to talk about it. That's so interesting that he like remembers her, even though like she technically like turned him into, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But he considers it like a blessing.
Yes, major blessing.
That's a beautiful story.
He said that she remembered the day vividly and we hugged like we had known each other forever. In a world that is filled seemingly with so much apathy, Rhonda Jackson taught me a valuable life lesson. Always treat people with love, always believe, and always do the right thing.
Oh my God, I'm literally going to cry. This is
I know,
really sweet.
I have chills. You
Me
never
too.
know whose life you might be saving. Thank you, Rhonda, for saving my life. There are no coincidences.
Oh my God, I literally have chills. That's so sweet.
So
I love
sweet.
this story. And now I love Zach C even more.
I know, and I wonder if they would have reconnected if not for The Bachelor. Like, obviously, if he had posted this Instagram and hadn't been on The Bachelor, like
No one would care.
No one would have seen it.
Yeah.
But I wonder if like she saw him on The Bachelor and
Maybe.
heard him tell his story. I just think this is such an amazing story, and
Yeah.
it teaches a very valuable lesson. Like, treat people with love
And just look out for others.
look out for your neighbors.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like in this year, I don't have neighbors, but just like watching a lot of TV and like seeing what's going on in the world, I feel like this year has really also been the year of like your neighbors. I feel like those people who have neighbors really relied on their neighbors this year for like different things, you know?
Yeah. Well, I feel like for me, since getting a puppy, I spent a lot of time just like on the street.
In the building.
Yeah. And I've really come to know my neighbors. And there's such like a puppy community out there that I didn't even know. Like now I know some of the other dogs in neighboring buildings and their owners. And, you know, everyone's always asking, like, even if they see me, they're like, how's Bruno? And I'm like, oh, wow. Like they would have just passed me by. Like Bruno's really connecting me to my community. I'm not even like fucking around.
No, that
like,
sounds awesome.
He really, really is. And now like I just have so many familiar faces. Like there's
Yes,
so many
by the way,
people.
I came into Jackie's house and she literally had like this bag of like treats and like jackets. And I'm like, what is that? She's like, oh, there's another Cavalier in the building. And he grew out of his
harness
and gave it to Bruno.
And so he gave it to Bruno. Or like sometimes I'll like take Bruno out in the morning. I'll see someone walking to work. And then when I take him out at night, like I see the person coming
That's
home.
crazy.
Yeah, there's like this one guy who
On schedule.
who I always see.
Maybe he leaves when it's time for the toast. Like he's the toaster.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, that sounds so nice. I literally am the only person who lives in my entire building, in my entire block. And I've never seen another human being, but my doorman love Theo.
Oh my God, of course they do, because he's so fucking perfect.
Yeah, and so they're really like his uncles.
Oh.
Yeah, but Theo doesn't have any neighbors, and neither do I, and we like live in a sad place.
That's why
With no other people.
You have to move to my building because the Cavalier community is like strong. And
How many Cavaliers are in your building now?
Now there are 3 Cavaliers in my building.
Wow.
And 4 when Theo moves in.
So wait, so funny. So I have an alert on Street Easy for your building because like if new apartments come up, I want to like be the first one. And this apartment came up, and I'm like, I don't know if it's for me. It was your old apartment.
I know. Zach showed it to me last night that it made it onto Street Easy. That's so funny.
That's fun.
Okay, are you ready for our 5th and final story?
Oh, and they listed it for less than what you were paying.
I mean,
does that bother you?
Sign of the times. No.
Oh, yeah.
I would have been shocked if they didn't. Like,
Yeah.
what world are you living in?
Sign of the times.
Are you ready for our 5th and final story?
Yes, ma'am.
Because Carrie Underwood got the best gift for Christmas from her husband.
What?
Cows.
Wow, that is a good gift.
Carrie Underwood's husband, Mike Fisher, got her cows for Christmas. Quote, "They make me so happy," she said. She said, "He got me cows, which is what I wanted. They're my favorite animal. I love them." She doesn't plan on doing anything. She doesn't want them for any purpose, she said, just to love them.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to say something really crazy.
Okay.
I actually had this thought yesterday when I was cleaning out my fridge, and there was like this gallon of milk in the back that literally, I don't know why we have milk. Like I don't really drink milk, sometimes for my cereal. So I poured it out. And it was like completely full, and it felt so wasteful. And I just kind of had this moment where I'm like, I don't think I'm going to have milk anymore.
Why?
Because it's like really sad for the cows. It's like painful.
Aren't they? I'm not familiar with milk.
No, but
culture.
I've been.
But aren't cows made to be milked?
Yes, but like the way that they overdo it, and like I start them at young ages and like multiple times a day, it's like, it's really not good.
Okay, well,
I think if you like own a farm and you're not like pasteurizing your own milk and selling it to grocery stores and like you want some milk, sure, go milk your cow. But I think like the way it's like streamlined, like, and it's so crazy, like it's their whole, like, they just get milked all the time, and it's like really painful, and I don't think it's done well. And I think I'm gonna stop drinking milk because it's really easy for me to give up because I literally never drink it. But I'm just gonna stop buying it.
Okay, but like, don't put the milk industry out of business.
Is half and half?
Don't put the farmers out of business. Half and half is half and half of two different kinds of milks, is what I just learned. But why don't you just have almond milk, because it's not dairy?
Sure.
Like, it comes from almonds.
I think this might be my journey to veganism.
Okay.
I'm stopping drinking milk.
And that includes chicken.
Well, no, I'm going to be a chicketarian, where I don't eat anything except for chicken. I can't. This is the thing. It's
no
either
tacos.
It's either the chicken or me, because if I don't eat chicken, I'll die.
What about tacos?
With chicken, ground chicken.
Okay, good luck.
I'm thinking about it.
I just feel like the farmers have had a rough year too. Like, don't put the milk industry out of business.
No, I'm not. But if the farmers could just be nice to the cows, like, that would really mean a lot to me.
I'm sure they love the cows so much.
I love
like
the
Carrie
cows.
Underwood.
Yeah. Great segue.
But I also don't know that much about, like, milk culture.
Yeah, no, and the industry. I'm just saying, like, I've been seeing some really convincing, like, vegan propaganda.
Where, on TikTok?
Like, everywhere. Like, I just see it everywhere, and it's starting to get to me, you know?
Okay.
But I don't know if that's propaganda. Like, is it real? I don't know. Don't quote me on any of this. I just, like, I have to do my research. But they planted a seed in me.
They planted a seed. Sometimes it's important. The seed can blossom.
Can grow. Thank you so much for those Fast Five stories, Jackie. They were
fucking random.
Yeah, they were interesting. And now we're going to do our Southern recap.
Our Southern
Charm recap, brought to you by Liquid IV. Cooler weather makes it easy to miss signs of dehydration, like overheating and perspiration, which means it's even more important to keep your body properly hydrated. And with 1 stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water, you get 2 to 3 times the amount of hydration as plain water. Flu season often lines up with our holiday plans, but Liquid IV can help support your immune system with increased hydration and essential vitamins. Given the pandemic, and given the fact that it's the winter and sometimes it's harder to realize that you might be dehydrated, it's never been a better time to try Liquid IV. First of all, I cannot drink water. Like, it's just like I have this like, it's sticklemaniosis. It's a really serious disease. And so I really just can't drink water plain. So I'm always like trying different things to put in my water. And Liquid IV tastes so good. And then it literally makes like the one bottle that you're drinking basically like 3 in terms of hydration. Mm-hmm. So it's really encouraged if you have a hard time drinking water, or if you just really want to be hydrated. Liquid IV's best-selling hydration multiplier, which is what I use, now has 3 flavors: guava, watermelon, and apple pie. 1 serving of Liquid IV provides the same hydration as drinking 2 to 3 bottles of water alone. It contains 5 essential vitamins, more vitamin C than an orange, and as much potassium as a banana. They're way healthier than sugary sports drinks, and they contain no artificial flavors, preservatives, and they have less sugar than an apple. They're totally made with clean ingredients. They are non-GMO, vegan, free of gluten, dairy, and soy. Thank God they're vegan. I can still have them. They're so effective because of their cellular transport technology, and they're on a mission to change the world. Their company has donated over 6.7 million servings globally, and in response to COVID-19, their products are being donated to hospitals, first responders, food banks, veterans, active U.S. military, and over 3 million servings in total have been donated so far, so you can know that your purchase is going a long way because we are taking care of the people in our country who need it the most. Liquid IV is available nationwide at Walmart in the beverage section, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the promo code TOAST at checkout. Again, that's 25% off anything you order when you use the promo code TOAST at liquidiv.com. Get better hydration today at liquidiv.com, promo code TOAST.
Love it. Okay.
Oh, and before we wrap up, this is probably the last time in 2020 I can promote my book, and I feel like we should make it a good one.
Okay.
You know what? Why don't you say something nice about the book, Jackie? I feel like you're hurting her feelings. You've never said anything nice about her.
Really? Read the back. Read the back.
No, I'm kidding. You say so many nice things.
Should I read my
Sure.
blurb? This is how I felt about Claudia's book. Much like the author herself, this book is hysterical and smart, but might also make you cry. Since the day she was born, I have been Claudia's #1 fan, and 26 years later, that has not changed.
Really aging me.
The admiration and pride I have for her has only intensified, and upon reading her story, you will feel similarly.
Wow, that was really beautifully done. Like, and you really came up with that really quickly when I asked you for it. Like, it's like, so you've been waiting your whole life to say it, you know?
Yeah, no, it just like, it fell out of me.
It fell out of you.
I write how I feel.
You're such a beautiful writer, because that's really profoundly written. So thank you for doing that, by the way. Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, I like,
I mean, you're really the writer, girl.
Very true. Girl with No Job is my book. It's called Girl with No Job, The Crazy Beautiful Life of an Instagram Thirst Monster. And I did a little chapter recap on my Instagram last week. I've started to do like weekly reveals. This week I am going to reveal the rest of the blurbs. But if you missed the chapter recap, allow me to recap for you. Chapter 1, my first period. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke from Friends. Chapter 1 is, I really should memorize this. Let's see if I can do it all. Chapter 1 is...
Introduction.
Well, there's the introduction and then chapter 1. Wow, I'm really like calling myself out. Chapter 1.
Wouldn't it be starting from the beginning?
Yeah, I want to say it's my childhood. A Star is Born. Yeah. Chapter 2 is college. You know what? Just give me a second.
It's like nobody asked.
No, I know, but it's like, is it crazy not to know like your
I don't think so, but like you're putting yourself on the spot.
No, I know, and I'm like really exposing myself. So like, let me just get my.
Well, yeah, now you have to find it, but I just want.
Now everyone's gonna be like, she didn't write her own book. She doesn't know the chapter.
That's next.
That's also a conspiracy about me, but that's okay. Like people have said way worse things about me, but I did write my own book. If you care, and it's really good.
She did. You can literally hear your voice in it.
Yeah, 100%.
Like no one else could have written it.
I'm just like having a hard time finding this doc. I'm like really out here exposing myself, but I'm gonna find it. Just give me a second. Oh, will you just forward it to me, please? Thank you. Just give me a minute, everyone. Just talk amongst yourselves.
Take your time.
Yeah, so what's new with you?
There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes you're gonna have to lose.
Keep going.
Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side.
Oh.
It's the climb.
Perfect timing.
I think that sounded really good.
That was actually pretty on key.
Thank you.
All right, here are the chapters for those wondering what the book may be about. First is introduction. I didn't give the chapter titles. Maybe this will be like a nice reveal. Chapter title 1 is Born Thirsty. That's all about my childhood.
That's funny.
Things, you might think like, what was Claudia like when she was growing up? But Jackie can attest that like I actually have a pretty embarrassing like childhood because I was such a little nut job, and there's a lot in there that you definitely don't know about me. A lot of my friends, when I sent it to them, they're like, I had no idea what was going on at home. Like,
that's so funny. Born Thirsty. She really needed some milk.
Stop. Chapter 2, A Career is Born. This is when I started my career at my time at NYU. Just a lot about, being a college gal and then it growing and like having to be like an influencer at NYU, which was really so challenging and really embarrassing at points. Third was Girl with No Full-Time Job, which is when I graduated college and unlike my peers, decided to not get a job and work on influencing full-time, which is not what it was today. And it was really embarrassing.
It sounds like this is a book of embarrassments.
Girl with No Embarrassments. Chapter 4, In Search of a Nice Jewish Boy with No Job. This is all about how I met Ben, my very short-lived dating life before Ben, my life being married to Ben, and then the formative experiences that happened to me as a child as it pertains to men that really shaped the woman I am today. Chapter 5 is Chubby, Stubby, and Fabulous, which is all about my journey with body image. I don't know if you guys know this. Jackie and I did attend a fat camp growing up, and I do, you'll read about it in the book, Blame It for All My Problems. And that's just a chapter on body image and what it's like to be fat and famous. That should have been the top chapter of the title. It's so much better, Fat and Famous. Chapter 6 is Will All the Real Stands Please Stand Up? This is my journey into being obsessed with pop culture and like how I got here. Like why am I so obsessed with like the logistics of being a celebrity? Chapter 7 is When the Fan Becomes Famous. So this is like Jackie and I have really, it was so hard not to talk for you in the book. Like I'm talking for you right now. Chapter 7 is like,
it's just because I'm here.
The dynamic of like being so obsessed with pop culture that like you actually become like well known.
Famous for being a fan.
Famous for being a fan. And then you get your own fans and like what's that dynamic like and like is it kind of toxic? Chapter 8 is You're Either Going to Love Me or Hate Me, in the words of Danielle Staub. And this is all about cancel culture. This is probably the chapter you're gonna like open up the book and skip to. It's page 173 if you're looking for it. And it has all the questions you want to answer. Like I know everyone wants to know like what happened on the day that you were canceled. I give you a play-by-play of the actual day. Do you talk to your mom? It's all in there. So buy the book if you care. Page 173. Chapter 9, From Canceled to Comedy. This is picking up the shambles of my life and trying to start my career, and then just deciding to do comedy and how I started that, and then ended up at the Beacon Theater. And then chapter 10 is Oppositional and Defiant, the conclusion, which will make you cry.
Yeah,
that's my story.
The thesis, where she's landed on all of these things.
What I've learned.
Yeah.
So that's the book. Again, girlwithnojob.com/book is the link. Check it out. All the places that you can purchase the ebook, the audiobook, and the print version are all there. You can support local bookstores by using the bookshop link, or you can buy from Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Check it out. I would appreciate the support. Thanks.
I feel like that was the best it ever went in terms of shelling.
I'm just telling people what they want to know. Like,
yeah.
I know what you're looking in the book, and I put it in there because I want to sell books.
Yeah.
I put it there. Check it out.
Great.
Okay, Southern Charm.
Yeah.
Kind of boring.
Oh, you know what? I thought it was boring, sure, but like when it was over, I was kind of like sad. I was like, oh, I actually could have watched more of that. Which is weird.
Again, I just continually refuse to just get past like the weirdness that is Patricia Altschul hosting a bunch of 35-year-old men in her backyard.
And it's like she couldn't have her boys' dinner because of COVID. And it's like the minute she's allowed to have people over,
that's
she's
the first thing she does.
Boys' dinner, and it's so weird. And then she's also like, stay away from me. But it's like, you invited all these people over to your house. If you don't want them near you, don't invite them over. Like, it is such a weird dynamic. And then I was really like trying to be, give her the benefit of the doubt and be like, okay, maybe they just need a place to film and they need this sort of party. But then like, why not invite the girls?
Yeah.
It's so weird. Her presence on the show is just becoming weirder and weirder. And I thought that like Austin had the greatest read of all time when he was like, wow, has Patricia never been in love? Has it always been about money? And I was just like,
and that was a fair assessment.
Is so shady.
Because she's so old school.
Yeah. No, because she's always advocating for Madison not to follow her heart, but to like follow the money.
Yeah. And I think I agree. Like Patricia's presence on the show is getting weirder and weirder. And it felt really weird when Leva called her, because how does Leva even know her?
Yeah.
And it's only because of the show. And it's like, you got to come kiss the ring.
Yeah.
It just felt so weird. And I never really understood or like appreciated Patricia's presence on the show. And don't get me wrong, I do think Patricia's life is very interesting, and I don't dislike seeing her with Michael and her butler and the inside of her house. It's all very interesting.
It's the Patricia show, but to have her as like the puppet master for all of these young people and have her so involved in their lives and so mean, it never ceases to like make me be like, what is she doing here?
Yeah, and especially when over the years, like her involvement has resulted in like people's like lives being really, like Catherine, like really being affected.
Yeah.
And now let's talk about the Catherine of it all. Her and Danny, just like their friendship just not being it. And part of me, I feel torn because I've always felt like their relationship was really weird. Like Danny was always this doormat for Catherine and like always there for her unapologetically. And it's like, we all knew that. Like, how are you just figuring it out that your relationship is toxic?
Yeah. And so it's like, okay, I'm glad you're figuring it out. And that
you can understand why Catherine's confused.
Yes, that like, what's changed?
No, this is kind of like Bethany and Carol, where it was like, this was the friendship, and like then you started questioning it, and it's like, just stop. It was good when it was. That's how it was, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm happy for Danny that she's standing up for herself.
Me
but
too.
Like we all knew what it was.
I thought it was like weird, like how much of a doormat you were for the last 5 years.
Yeah, but like also, why can't you try just like not being a doormat? That doesn't mean that you don't have to be friends with someone, but like maybe like standing up for yourself and like not taking shit instead of just like writing off the friendship completely.
Right. And you know, before the episode, they played last week's episode, like Secrets Revealed, where they put those incredibly stupid, irrelevant fun facts in a box on the left. And when they were talking about Danny, it said the dumbest thing. It was like, she really was mad that Catherine didn't reach out to her during the whole monkey emoji thing. Because she thought it meant that, like, you know, Danny's opinion on racism, like, didn't matter. It was just so stupid. And it's like, you can be mad at Catherine. Danny has a lot of things she can be mad at Catherine about. Like, their friendship really is unfair. But I'm not understanding, like, this hill you're dying on of, like, Catherine not reaching out to you. For as long as we've known Catherine, it's like she never shows up. She never answers her phone. Like, that's who she is. She disappears for days at a time. So I don't think she was necessarily, like, not reaching out to you. But she only got mad when she found out that Catherine reached out to Leva.
Yeah.
Whereas like Leva is obviously like this really smart person who gave Catherine really good advice.
Yeah.
So I don't know why she's like so mad about her reaching out to Leva. Danny has a lot she could be mad at her for, but I don't know why this is the thing that like got her to this place.
Yeah, I feel that. I don't see it either. Maybe next week they have another conversation in what looks to be a fabulous beach party.
Yes.
So maybe we'll get more clarity around that. I'm actually really excited for that episode. And then it looks like Austin and Leva are
go
fighting,
at it on a boat. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I felt bad for Austin at the end of the episode because he just loves Madison so much. And like, aside from like being, you know, like a a 11-year-old. He's just never really done anything like bad.
No, they're just a mismatch. And I think what Patricia said, which is what nobody focuses on, but really seems to be like the heart of the matter, is that he's not ready to be a stepfather.
Yes.
You know, and so we could talk about the fact, like everyone always makes it about like he's not there in his business and he's not mature enough. But at the end of the day, all of those things come back to the fact that if he wants to be with Madison, he needs to be a parental figure, and he's not ready to be that person. So
that's true.
I think that more needs to be made of that, because making it about the other things just makes Austin feel like a piece of shit. And like
and
when
shallow.
he has to say in his confessionals, like, I know I'm good enough for Madison. It's like, yeah, why is everyone just telling him straight up, like, you're not good enough for her. You're never gonna be.
Yeah.
She needs to do better. When it's like, he seems like actually a really decent person.
I agree.
Maybe he parties too much, and maybe he lets like the show, he gets carried away with the fame and the celebrity. And I think it's really hard not to, especially like in a town like Charleston that's small, and you know, it's just too easy.
It is what it is, yeah.
I think that everyone is super hard on him when he has like a good heart.
I agree. And as what I said last week of like being obsessed with Madison and Pringle, I'm no longer there. Something about Pringle starting to bother me.
Like when he was like hitting on the bartender, and then also like and talk to the guys like in front of her face, like about how she's like a smoke show.
Yeah,
I just
and
thought
if
that
you
was,
use the word smoke show, it's going to be a no for me.
The whole thing was like disrespectful, and it's like, oh, so you're just like obsessed with any pretty girl that you see. It's not Madison. It's just like her looks.
I didn't pick up last week, or they didn't show the footage where he complimented her thighs.
I didn't pick it up either.
I thought he said eyes, and I think there's something deeply problematic, and I can't really get into it. But there's something deeply problematic about complimenting a woman's thighs. I'm sorry. Like, it's weird. And he's just starting to look so dirty. Like, take a shower. I'm like, over him.
Yeah, I don't ship him and Madison.
No, me neither.
Even if she does.
Madison needs a businessman beau. It always comes back to that.
It always comes back to it.
We'll find her
she's
one.
the businessman girl. Business girl beau. I've got to work on that one.
She's a businesswoman special.
Yes.
There you go. Oh my God, that's so funny. By the way, I have been making so many cameos. Like, literally, it's the most fun thing ever. And it's just so interesting, like, what people gravitate to in terms of toasty lingo. And everyone just asks for me to call, like, their best friend or their girlfriend beautiful, stunning, and smart.
Oh, that's so nice. You guys are nice friends.
It's really sweet. So book me on Cameo. Thanks.
Other than that, I thought it was a good episode, and I was just like so weirded out that it all revolved around this party at Patricia's that she seemed to like not want to have, but like no one asked you to have it, and why not invite the girls?
No, it was weird. And it was raining.
Always keeping the genders separate. It's weird. It's like
she's just so old school. And you were saying last week how Southern Charm has always been like this boys club, and the puppeteer of Southern Charm is Patricia. She's the one who's made it this boys club.
She enforces these traditional gender roles, and I think she's not a good influence.
I completely agree.
Like, every week I just feel like that's my takeaway.
Yeah, it's the Patricia is weird show.
Yeah, and I think it's because, well, I think there's a number of reasons why she has such a big influence on the show, but I think one, like, because Whitney's an executive producer, and I think he's taken himself out of the show because I think, like, when he put himself in it, people didn't like him, and I don't think he could take that. So he was like, I'm going to remove myself, and, like, Mom, people love you.
Stay.
You'll be a big part of the show. And also because of the house and, like, the Michael of it all, and it's also fabulous.
They need that.
I don't know. I think they're two separate shows.
On the count of three, say your favorite Southern Charm cast member, okay?
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I mean, I have so many, but
just
okay.
Say three. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Craig.
Yeah.
I fucking love him.
Yeah.
And he's just out here giving everyone really good advice.
I thought that the conversation he had with Madison was like a really nice, and not like, it was a nice thing to do. Obviously, if Austin like saw it, he would be upset, but it was in Austin's best interest. And I think that Craig is a good person.
I agree.
He is a good. I don't think he is.
I agree. He's a nice boy.
Yeah, I've never seen him like be intentionally mean to
Me
someone.
neither. And he's been like railed on and made fun of more than anyone. Like, even the fact that Shep named his dog Good Boy Craig, which is so rude. And then Shep walks around his house in a t-shirt that says Craig is my lawyer. And like, he just got so much shit for so long about the pillows and then the bar exam. And like, now I just feel like he's in a good place. Like, did you see on I guess I did it last week too, but I didn't see. But on Bravo, if you're watching on cable, on the left side, they had a little QR code that popped up, and it's like, you swipe this QR code to buy Craig's pillows. So his pillows are actually like legit. They're selling them on Shop by Bravo. He's on HSN. Like, Sewing Down South, he came on our show, and he has like a huge partner, that guy, the Thomasville Company, which is like a Southern merch company. Like, he's doing really well.
He is doing really well. And
I just didn't see that for him.
Yeah, no, I'm proud of him, and I love to see it. And I feel like even though the guys are still like always, taunting him. Like, there's less to taunt him about.
And it doesn't get to him anymore. He's like secure in himself.
Yeah, but I do still think Shep naming his dog Craig is like so
mean.
Rude.
Yeah, so mean. That's all we got for you guys. Anything you want to say before we wrap up the last show of the year?
Thank you so much for, if you've made it to the end of this episode, thank you for everything. We love you guys. We love doing the toast.
We hope that it has brought you joy in a really, really hard year.
Yeah. And when you guys message us and like tell us what it's meant to you, you know, whether it's a commute or you're working on the front lines and just the toast is a little companionship every day, like that's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
And it makes all the other stuff that comes along with it worth it, honestly.
No,
just to
100%.
make one person's day a little easier, a little brighter, a little filled with laughter, little steamy vibes.
Yeah.
Like that's all we're trying to do here.
That's the point here.
And
I think it's
emanate those vibes and make your days feel like a little more comforted.
And that's so important to remember. Like, we live in a really difficult world, especially this year with so much going on. And, not everything is that serious. Like you and I wake up every day with just one goal of like making people smile. I know that a lot of people save the podcast like for their commute or for whatever. And that means a lot to us. And I think the fact that the toast has become so ingrained in people's routine, and when we're not here, like people miss it, like that means so much to us, and that's why we do it. And we really hope that this year has been, as easy as it could have been for everyone, and that the toast was helpful in alleviating some of the pains of 2020. And hopefully when we see you guys on January 4th,
yeah, I think so,
2021, like it's a brand new world. New world, who dis?
No, you're setting too high expectations.
No, I'm not.
No, you are.
New world, who dis?
We're going into 2021 with optimism, and we're excited to see you all there. And if you are feeling RDH that this is the last show of the year, there is new content on patreon.com/morningtoast. And we'll be putting out new episodes weekdays next week, so that to fill that 10:30 a.m. void gap, you can head over to patreon.com/morningtoast.
And when you sign up, you get access to our entire catalog. So that's like over 200 episodes. So there's really a lot of content for you during our little break. But I'm hesitant to wrap up. Is there anything we didn't say? I really want to express the gratitude Jackie and I feel for everyone who tunes into this show. Like it really makes our day, and I hope it makes your day.
Yeah, and to everyone who works on our show and all of our partners and
at Audio Boom, everyone, we love you. Thank you for supporting the toast, even when it wasn't easy.
Yeah. And all of our TNN shows. Always, you can head over there if you're looking for some more content too. We just love everyone that we work with. We love everyone who listens to the show, and we love each other. Thanks, Claude, for another great year.
Oh my God, I love you. Are you going to touch me?
Sure.
Oh, the little...
Ow.
Oh, God, sorry. I got a little rough, and I dropped my Chewy Bar wrapper. I think it's time to wrap up.
Okay.
Love you guys so much. Thank you again for being toasters. I hope you've enjoyed this wonderful year of shows. I think we did about like 230 shows.
More. I think it's like more 260 plus like 5 Patreons at 12. That's like 72. No, that
so about 300 episodes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's fucking scary. We should stop talking.
No, and I can't believe we haven't run out of shit to talk about yet. That day is coming. Don't worry.
No, but it really doesn't, because like
the world turns.
The world keeps turning, and then there's just new stuff.
We love you guys.
Then we pick up a new hobby, and there's new stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna take up knitting again. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Morning Toast, the Millennial Morning Show, where we deliver the fast 5 stories that you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast anywhere podcasts can be found. So that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places. So wherever you listen to podcasts, find us a Morning Toast and leave a 5-star review about how beautiful, stunning, and smart we are. We hope you have an amazing, amazing holiday season. Please stay safe. Merry Christmas to you and your families. Take some time off. It's been a hard year, and just enjoy and relax. We love you.
Love you. Bye.